Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Get Political. I'm your host, Logan Zimmerman, and on today's show, we have to be talking about this absolutely crazy story coming out of the state of Massachusetts. Now, this really shouldn't surprise me because of how much woke propaganda is going on in the state of Massachusetts right now, especially with our kids. But anyway, I digress. I just had to cover this crazy story coming out of Massachusetts of this 12-year-old boy being kicked out of gym class because he wore a shirt that says that there's only two genders.
What?
Yes, you heard me correctly. A 12-year-old got kicked out of school because he wore a shirt that says there's only two genders. This is where our society is, ladies and gentlemen. This is how low our society has become. This is where the general IQ of society has completely disappeared. The common sense of people is completely and utterly gone. But anyway, don't take my word for it. Here's a clip for you at his school board meeting talking about it. Let's play it.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I never thought that the shirt I wore to school on March 21st would lead me to speak with you today. On that Tuesday morning, I was taken out of gym class to sit down with two adults for what turned out to be a very uncomfortable talk. I was told that people were complaining about the words on my shirt, that my shirt was making some students feel unsafe. Yes, words on a shirt made people feel unsafe. They told me that I wasn't in trouble, but it sure felt like I was. I was told that I would need to remove my shirt before I could return to class. When I nicely told them that I didn't want to do that, they called my father. Thankfully, my dad supported my decisions and came to pick me up. What did my shirt say? 5 simple words. There are only two genders. I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing. Actually, just the opposite. Several kids.
Yeah, so you saw that, you heard that, and let me tell you something. Shout out to this 12-year-old boy. Shout out to his parents for raising him with common sense and a brain that actually works. Shout out to them for actually seeing through the woke propaganda that this kid has to go through every single day at school. And this kid hit the nail on the hammer, he hit the See, I already done screwed that up. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. This kid nailed home every single point. He said, there's disruptions in the classroom. I can't complain. There's diversity propaganda all around me. I don't have a problem with it. I see pride flags. I don't say a word about it. But when I come to school with my little shirt with 5 little words that say there's only two genders, it's a problem. All of a sudden, it becomes an issue. All of a sudden, it becomes a big fuss. Now I have to get rid of my shirt or be kicked out of class. Then all of a sudden, it becomes a problem. It stops you from allowing me to get my education. It stops you from allowing me to go to school. I mean, this is just the craziness of our society. This is not normal, ladies and gentlemen. This is derangement at its full throttle. I mean, there's no other way to describe what's happening to this 12-year-old and what's happening to our nation as a whole than we are literally committing suicide. We are jumping off a cliff and telling people that now if you wear a shirt to school that says there's only two genders, you are somehow not able to be a part of society. You're not allowed to go to school. You're not allowed to get your education. This is obscenity. This is absurd. This is craziness. I mean, this is the world that we live in. And it just amazes me that a 12-year-old kid had to go to a school board meeting and even address this problem. This shouldn't even be a problem. This shouldn't even be an issue. But, I mean, it doesn't surprise me this is coming from a state like Massachusetts. This does not shock me at all. The amount of craziness up there, the amount of brainwashing that's happened to those poor people, they probably can't tell the difference between reality and fiction anymore because of how brainwashed they are. You know, and it's just absolutely crazy to me that we're living in this society where we're going to send kids home wearing shirts that says there's only two genders, but we're going to allow teachers to have diversity flags, Black Lives Matter flags, pride flags all over their walls. But God forbid you go to school wearing a shirt that says there's only two genders. Once again, someone tell me what is wrong with that picture. Tell me. Please explain to me. Because this is obscenity, and this is obscenity. There's no other way to describe it. But anyways, guys, I digress. There's a lot to talk about this issue because, you know, we live in a backward society where they try to normalize the backwardness and try to convince you that somehow this 12-year-old child is in the wrong here. You know, he's been a bad influence. He's offending people. He's upsetting people. Meanwhile, you have pride flags everywhere in public schools. I mean, the hypocrisy is off the charts. But anyway, I just had to cover this story because of how craziness it is. I at first when I read it, I didn't believe it. But now, you know, there's just no way to explain this. There's no rational way to explain this type of thinking in our school systems. And this is what we're teaching the next generation to be offended by. We're teaching them to be offended by words, to be upset by words. But anyway, I've been saying, but anyway. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel. It really helps us grow over here. And we want to thank you for all the love and support we've been getting on all of our videos. But as anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Now you're preventing me from getting my education. Education? Did I really just say education? Education. Jesus Christ.